We're going to talk about skating rinks in our city centres, in our town centres, those kind of places. Because Icescape at Weston-super-Mare's Tropicana, which is the largest indoor rink in the country, closes its doors tomorrow. It's a popular attraction. It can accommodate 500 skaters per session. Now, we reckon it's given the local economy a boost. We'll find out more about that on the way. Dann, first of all, is the operations manager. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning.
Good morning. A big success for you, was it?
Yeah, it's been very, very successful. It's been received really well by the people of Weston, and we're very, very pleased to the first how it's gone in Weston-super-Mare. So yeah, very happy.
Yeah, this is the largest indoor rink in the country. What's made it? What's made you bring it to Weston?
So it's the largest covered with a temporary sort of marquee rink in the UK. Basically, Weston-super-Mare is sort of really up and coming, but also the travel links for the whole of the South West. And the relationship that we had with North Somerset Council kind of was able for us to provide it at the Tropicana.
I mean, you're based in South Gloucestershire, really, so I suppose you have good links with the area.
Yeah, we know the area well, so we know the transport links, and we know sort of the clientele and the type of people that would come ice skating. So Weston-super-Mare, lots of families coming, and it's been a real success.
This isn't your only rink, is it, really? So how does this rink rank with your other ones in terms of the success?
This has been very successful. I mean, we've got over 20 rinks around the country. This one we're managing ourselves. It's obviously got the extras as well. We had the Santa's Grotto and the snow slide and sort of the igloo bar. So this one's been very successful. The size of the ring, you said it can hold up to 500. We cap that for 400 people, and it's the numbers that have come through. We estimate that we've kind of got over in excess of 120,000 people through the doors.
On the basis of this, will you come back next year?
Yeah, hopefully. I think we'd love to come back. Obviously, the Tropicana is owned by the council, so they've been really supportive, and I know we'll sit down and have discussions with them. But yeah, we'd love to come back next year. Have
you come up against any obstacles at all in this installation?
There's been a couple of obstacles. The weather has been probably the main obstacles. Storm Eleanor, especially. The weather, they haven't really had sort of weather like that in the last sort of 8-10 years. So there's high winds in excess over 70 miles an hour, which for health and safety reasons did cause us to close for the duration of the storm.
Yeah, which is last week, wasn't it? So yes, bit of a shame to end it that way, but all very good news and very, very positive. Well, Jamie, thank you very much for your time this morning. Jamie Dann, Operations Manager. We can talk now to the Councillor Felicity Baker, who is North Somerset Council's Executive Member for Tourism. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning.
Well, you must be delighted, apart from the shame about being closed during Storm Eleanor, but just by what Jamie has said, you must be delighted with the success of the ice rink at the Tropicana this year.
Absolutely. It was just as Jamie has said. I can't really add anything more to what he just said, really. It has been absolutely fantastic, and people have loved it. I mean, what's not to like? An enormous ice rink that you can get hundreds of people on, and there's, dolphins and penguins and all sorts of things down there. It's absolutely amazing.
Now, do you know if it's boosted numbers at all to the town?
Well, I would imagine so. As you just heard him say, Jamie say, they had in excess of 120,000 people down there. They come down for their hour's session. Depending on how far they've travelled, and some will have travelled a distance, they then go into the town and use the cafes and bars and restaurants there. So whenever you've got a larger footfall, it always is good news for everybody else in the town, so everybody benefits.
So you can't really tell the impact on the economy?
Not at the moment, because I haven't got any figures yet. I mean, they haven't even taken the thing down yet, so I mean, I haven't got the figures yet, but just common sense tells me that if you've got that many people coming into a town, it's bound to be good news for everybody, and it's always had a very good feel factor as well. People just like the fact that the organisers are so friendly. They've got it's such a slick operation. No one's hanging around in the cold. They get their skates, they're on, the others have come off. It's a very slick operation, and people have been very positive about it.
Yeah, no, you're being very positive about it as well. The only reason why I mentioned figures, of course, because that's how you measure the success. So when will you be able to sit down and sort of go through all this kind of thing?
Oh, well, I honestly don't know. I don't know that, but it'll be in the next few weeks. We'll be able to look at it and then decide whether, because of course, I mean, obviously he'd like to come back. He says he'd like to come back, and we'd love to have him. And the only reason why I don't say right now, yes, that's what's going to happen, is because we have all these tendering processes, and there'll be someone listening in saying, "Oh, you've already decided that," and it affects the finances. So you've got to be very careful what you promise to do.
And I apologise. I almost invited him back on your behalf.
Yes, I heard you do that, but that's good because that that strengthens my arm when I'm talking to my colleagues.
Well, I don't know if I have that much influence, but in fact, we were thinking though, really, because we've talked about the amazing uses for the Tropicana. Maybe you could do Banksy on ice.
Yeah. Not quite sure how that would work. I don't think that's it. I can't see him being terribly excited about that. He likes to be unique and do things very differently.
I think Banksy on ice is pretty unique, don't you think?
Banksy on ice? Yeah. Okay. Well,
I was trying to put together two of the great uses for the Tropicana in recent years into one kind of installation. That's what I was thinking.
Kill two birds with one stone. Yeah. Well, the next thing we've got coming up, as you know, is I'm sure you do know, is Craig Charles. He's doing his funk and soul.
How do you find these creative uses for the Tropicana?
Well, we have people who obviously advise us, and since you mentioned Banksy, in the last couple of years, we've been looking at an array of events and things that we can put on down there. So we've tried all sorts of things to see what works and see what doesn't work, because obviously it's a major event place in the southwest, and we want it to be very successful, because when you've had something like Banksy there, it had worldwide attention. So we want to make sure that we look after that and put on really successful shows, which we will do. So we'll have some larger events supported by some smaller events. But as I say, I can't really say too much beforehand, because then it does rather stymie you when you come to negotiations.
Did you don your skates this winter?
Do you know, I've got to be honest, no, I didn't.
Oh.
But then, I don't think Felicity on ice is going to appeal to anybody, least of all Felicity, I think.
No, no, you were too busy counting the numbers and the footfall. That's what you were doing, Felicity. That's what you were doing.
You see, as councillors, we can be a bit boring. Yeah,
you were there with your spreadsheet, putting together the argument for next year's budget. That's what you were doing.
Well, it is budget time. I can't help it. I mean, you know what the council taxpayers are like. They like, a lot of bang for their buck, as they say.
And what was because we talked about the visitor numbers. Just I appreciate a lot of it is gut feel, but just from talking to people and your general feeling, it was a success.
Oh, absolutely. There hasn't, and I'm talking to the staff as well. And of course, they're there every day. I only go down periodically, and they say, talking to the members of the public that turn up, there wasn't one single negative comment. And trust me, that's a first.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough in that case. Yes,
and they're looking for them, but no, there hasn't been one single negative comment, not even from people, because sometimes when you put on these really successful events, there are going to be residents sometimes who perhaps aren't as enamoured of it as others, because it's going on every single day and they don't like the queues or perhaps some of the noise that emanates from these venues. But we haven't had that. And that's an awful lot of that is down to the way Jamie and his team have organised that. And everybody has said just what a wonderful operation it is. Because when you're standing around in the cold, it's not much fun. But if you know you can get there, get your skates, get on the ice, and it's all worked out very sort of seamlessly, it works very well. So I'm hopeful for next year. So Jonathan, I tell you what, I'll give you a bit of a challenge. If you want me to go on the ice, then you're going to have to do it as well.
Oh, what a shame! I'm washing my hair that month.
You're washing your hair, and I'm going to find out later that you're bald, aren't I?
Getting there. I might be totally bald by the time it comes to the next ice rink. Thank you, Felicity. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll just sit there and tick a few spreadsheets with you instead. How about that?
Lovely. Yeah, I'm not as boring as that, Okay.
Lovely. Thank you, Felicity. Lovely to talk to you. Thank you. That's North Somerset Council's Executive Member for Tourism, Councillor Felicity Baker on BBC Radio Bristol.